Test, 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 test. Alright. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Good morning and welcome, and guess what works now? Except that every time I gyrate the controller, I lose connection for a moment, so I gotta keep it pointed below parallel. Alright, I've decided I'm gonna do the thing, and commit to trying to do a proper playthrough of Tales of Symphonia. This will be episode 1. And if this does not work, to quote my favorite, the boss from the end of Medio, if I get too interrupted to do weekend streams to get momentum on a playthrough of this, this is kind of my last-ditch attempt at a longer game on stream. And then I will resign myself to always playing short indie bargain bin titles, which is not a bad way to spend a life. Just going to change some of the settings so that it's an adequately visually appealing but also busker-ish looking stream. I like A the most. Good morning, Takada. How are you? Volume settings, this should all be good. Hope you have yourself a good time while you're here. And I hope that I don't suck too much. Alright, let's get going. Unfortunately, if I leave Tales as the active window, it does freeze, kind of like OTS. So while I will not be able to mute the mic like I'd been hoping, I'll try and, get it out of the way like this. Sorry, get it out of the way like that. Yes, Spedinja, the game finally accepts the controller. As silly as it sounds, one of my longtime online buds, Dark Saint Diablo, who I sometimes call DSD for short, suggested that I reset my machine, and lo and behold, it worked. DSD, by the way, Spidinja, is the one who invented the strategy that we use in Blocked Way in OTS runs, where instead of having to do a green beam jump, you just jump off the topmost pixel of the block, and it's about time equivalent to a second try GBJ in any percent in-game time. Alright, we're going to start now. And when there's cutscenes with voice acting, I'm going to try to let them do the talking. When it's not, I might talk over it, but I am going to try and, for once in my life, let the game be the focus. Yeah, let's see what it wants. We want the titles on. We want manual. I'm glad I did this. Semi-auto control is just strange. Vibration feature on. Ha, my controller doesn't have that.
Once upon a time, there existed a giant tree that was the source of mana. A war, however, caused this tree to wither away, and a hero's life was sacrificed in order to take its place. Grieving over the loss, the goddess disappeared unto the heavens. The goddess left the angels with this edict. You must wake me, for if I should sleep, the world shall be destroyed. The angels bore the chosen one, who headed towards the tower that reached up unto the heavens. And that marked the beginning of the regeneration of the world.
Lloyd Irving, wake up. Lloyd! How do you manage to sleep standing?
Oh, Professor Rain, is class over?
My controller will be fine. I just wasn't holding still.
Never mind. Let's have someone else answer the question. Genus, how about you?
Yes, Rain.
I would love to just...
Mythos the hero brought about the end of the ancient war in the holy ground of Karlon.
Correct. Afterwards, Mythos the hero formed a pact with the goddess Martel to seal away the Desians whom caused the war.
Who? You're a teacher. Use correct grammar.
But the Desians came back and are now causing everyone to suffer.
We covered that in class last time, remember? When the seal weakens, the Desians reappear, just like they have now.
Yeah, I knew that. I just forgot.
Me in every class ever. Also, I wish that I could just give up on a student the way that Rain does on Lloyd. That's not true. I don't wish that at all.
Today is the day of prophecy. It is a very important day, which the
On
chosen of
which-
Mana will receive an oracle from the goddess Martel. Now, chosen one, Colette,
Yes, ma'am.
tell us about the journey of world regeneration.
It is a journey to seal the Desians. Upon passing the trials of the goddess Martel, the summoned spirits that protect the world awaken, and mana is restored.
Correct. I suppose we should expect the chosen herself to know the answer to that one. Mana depletion is the cause of the current food shortages and droughts.
DSD, thank you for bringing somebody with you. AKA you. We were just talking about what a great guy you are.
It is said that this occurs because the Desians consume vast amounts of mana in their human ranches. The Chosen's journey has two purposes: to revive mana, as well as defeat the Desians. Now, for the next question.
Perfect segue.
What was that?
That's...
Settle down. It would seem that the time for the oracle has come. I will go and check on the chapel. Everyone stay here and study on your own. Understood?
Professor! I'll go with you.
No, Colette. If it is the oracle, the priests will come here for you. Wait here with everyone else.
Yes, ma'am.
So like so many games, this is paced with a lot of cutscene and exposition at the beginning, but we're introduced to our main character, Lloyd, who is not here to do school. Basic flavor text in this room is not so exciting, but we are also introduced to our obvious main characters. And the students are not exactly kind to this dude. I'm with Lloyd there. Welcome, DSD. And for those who don't know, DSD is also an avid connoisseur of fan games. I believe he's also made his own, but like he streams super high quality, high res, awesome frame rate, and it's like watching him do those things, it's mesmerizing. A human-shaped, patched-up hole in the wall. That'll come into play in a moment here. We're gonna leave the school. Oh, but we're not gonna leave the school. Rain is the professor, and is also Genus's older sister, which isn't really a spoiler. We're gonna find that out in minutes if we haven't already. He's also extremely loyal to the idea of order and rules. So now I have a few dialogue points throughout the game where I'm going to get to make a decision, and it'll affect my relationship with the different characters. It's research. I like that. An excuse is an excuse. Like it. And then he brings Genus down with him. He's got a penchant for that. Colette just kind of goes with the flow, and is a very unchosen-like chosen of mana. Wait, what? What? Oh, thank you so much, DSD. Oh my gosh. I'll explain as soon as I'm through this mini cutscene what that voice is. I hope it was as satisfying to hear for you as it was for me. Now this is funny. Are you curious? Yes, then I'll be curious too. Now Lloyd turns right around. But dwarves have a pretty cool morality code in this game. Controller, please. I've got you angled downward and everything. Okay, went back, and that's actually the button. That's awesome. Okay. This, I believe, is a mainstay of the Tales games. As you're moving around, you'll see in the lower left when a skit is available. And so DSD, that voice is, I think it's either Latin or Swedish. Like, there are a ton of voices available on Streamlabs, and of course it's expecting to be reading in its native language, but it will still try to pronounce English words, so that's what I settled on. I've got Latin for one, Swedish for another, and I think Russian for one. Also, this is a recurring theme throughout the game for anybody who is not familiar with Tales of Symphonia. And so by interacting with that hole, I now have the ability to bestow upon Colette the title of Klutz. In terms of game mechanics, Tales throws in everything up to and including the kitchen sink. So in terms of the basic RPG stat attributes, the different titles will affect the rate at which they increase when you level up. So objectively speaking, there's nothing to lose. You can tell by how all three of those traits are green. Yeah, she's got... The problem with being a chosen, aka immensely powerful, and also a klutz is sometimes stuff happens to the good guys. So you can see this is an upgrade in 3 attributes without losing any over her starting title, so of course we're going to make her klutz until we get something else. And now we're going to make our way out. Go out. And more cutscene. It's okay, we were ready for this, right guys? And so this becomes important here, this non-aggression treaty. So Lloyd, of course, spells it out as obliviously as he can so that we all get it too. Alright, so cutscene upon cutscene upon cutscene, because there's plenty to learn about the game. Here's a skit. They don't have voice acting in this version of this game. I believe in the Japanese version they do. But they're emotive and cute and creative, and so I like to trigger as many of them as possible unless it really interrupts the flow of the game. This is where you go to save, and it's a pretty common, I think, RPG format. When you're in the overworld, you can save anywhere. When you're in towns, you can only save in specific locations. We're finally about to be introduced to the battle mechanics here, and it's kind of quasi 3D real-time combat that I'm a big fan of. One little dialogue trope that I'm not a fan of in this game is that they always interrupt sentences without complete subjects, trying to seem elusive and mysterious. There's a bird on my balcony. Okay. This is a JRPG. The protagonist should always worry. Takada coming in with the blistering trope critique. Alright, so by default you control Lloyd, and honestly his combat style is the best suited for real-time combat. Sorry for my load time there, wasn't expecting that, truthfully. So it's actually not unlike Super Smash Bros. In terms of the combat mechanics. Now here again, more stuff that the game throws in. At the end of the battle, you notice in the bottom right of the stats, I have something called grade. That's based on how quickly you dispatch the enemy and how little damage you take. And that actually accumulates like a currency that you spend on certain things. So I got item drops, that's cool. In the lower right, you see the button cook. Different characters have different cooking abilities, and throughout the game, I can't wait to show you how you unlock various recipes. And so, again, there's a lot going on. We'll figure all that out in due time. That was easy. Colette's just kind of like Lloyd's cheerleader no matter what he's doing. Okay, more meaningful plot. Seriously, DSD, thank you for your generosity. I think that's the first time I've seen that notification. That was awesome. Hey, Enon, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Tales games are just mechanics on top of mechanics on top of mechanics. Yeah, Symphonia is the only one that I'm really familiar with. I forget if it was Zestiria or Vesperia that came out on Steam, and then they released the HD Tales of this bundled with that. I only got this, though, not the other actual new Tales game. It looked interesting, though. And if any of you guys know Courier Luke, he was doing playthroughs of several Tales games on his stream, and I think it was Zestiria that was looking pretty good on his stream. Okay. Okay, so now this is another common JRPG trope. Obviously the monsters are represented by avatars of the party in dungeons and whatnot and towns. It's actually about to be two enemies. So they know there's a ghost there, we don't know there's a ghost there yet. So that's how this dialogue will make sense. It's almost like a stage play or something. This isn't the party, it's just a symbol of the party. And so the whole point of this was to let me know how to switch the targeted character. And this becomes important very early because most monster battles are in groups, even boss fights, which is nice thing. Like, the bosses have henchmen and whatnot, and it does add some variety into how you take them out. So the basic combo that works best is 3 of the slashes, you know, your melee attack, and then 1 special to lead in. And then you can get at least a 4-hit combo every time. Since we didn't really take damage, I'm not going to cook yet. It's important to choose the target wisely when there's a lot of monsters, or if we're up against a dangerous one. So here again, can we spell this out anymore, obviously, for our young American gamers? Let's go to the temple. Let's all go to the temple. Let's all go to the temple. Controller, I'm gonna break you. Let's all play some Tales. Alright. This is what an overworld looks like, and hey, skit. Genus is pretty much Roast Master General and makes sure that Lloyd never feels too good about himself. These roving pancakes are the enemy avatars in the overworld, and the cool thing is, to a better extent than in towns and dungeons, you can actually outmaneuver them, because their movement speed is capped except when the game kind of decides, like, the equivalent of encounter rate in this is every once in a while you'll get one that's super mobile and just hops up and down and then charges you at a faster rate than you can possibly avoid. But like this guy, he's probably big because the game's giving me the choice of whether to take him on or not. Let's do it. I don't have the battle rank on hard. Still getting used to the mechanics again, but we'll try it. So I'm going for the wolf first, then I'm going to go for the falcon, then I'm going to go for the rabbit. Oh, and the game agreed. Although the rabbit just gave Colette some trouble, but she decided to come and fight this bird with me, so it works. I will introduce yet another mechanic for y'all, now that we're out of the fight. My grade wasn't so great on that one, but grade can be both positive and negative, so as long as you're not getting negative grade, don't sweat it too bad. Strategy. So they all have positions on this grid here, and that's kind of like your battlefront, your lines. And so I could tell Colette to do a number of different things with her AI. I can tell her to be on the front lines. In other words, she's fighting right up there, focusing on melee attacks. And so for that reason, I'm going to tell her to be sparing with her special attacks, you know, her things that use mana points. So that she's tending to use more melee attacks. I'm going to have her attack the same enemy as the player, so basically Colette's going to follow me around and be my hype man. Meanwhile, Genus, being the wizard, is going to block magic, so enemies that are using magical attacks. Use skills freely. Same thing there with him. We don't want him to get into a bind against a boss. So I'm going to use this moderation setting that says use skills or magic less frequently once TP is below 50%, and he's a long-range magic user. So even though the game does a pretty good job of setting them up where they're best going to succeed, I like to just give that specificity. I'm not going to spend too much time grinding enemies here, although it's a nice change of pace from cutscene, cutscene, cutscene. Fight one more enemy, then I'm actually going to go back into town and heal, and then kind of make a straight shot at the temple. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the opening battle screen, Colette was in a different spot. She's having trouble getting herself oriented, but whatever. We took care of business. That was easy. And as the game goes on, I typically will not be getting over 2 grade per fight. I'm not actually good at this game, as is the case with most games. But goodness do I love me the story and art style and just about everything about it. This is Frank's house. Frank, you might recall, was introduced as Colette's father. And he's one of those typical JRPG characters who's completely passive in every way, but at one point in the game mysteriously possesses the ability to heal you and your party. Instantaneously, and without any break in the action. So now that we're healed, now that we've fought a couple times, save it is. You don't have to worry too hard about being under-leveled in the early stages, although I personally think it's worth it to gain, say, at least one level with a character or two before you head into the temple. So, like, one or two more battles and Colette and Gina should each level up. He's just got that healing look about him, DSD. I dig. Ooh, 2 wolves. This'll be fun. I just got critted by the bird. Man. Don't judge a book by its cover. I think the bird is more injurious to my health. And as of right now, I only know Demon Fang, but use of the various techniques will lead you to gain other skills. Let me go into tech so you can see what sort of stuff I'm dealing with. So I've got Demon Fang. I've got slots for several other things, and so this ends up working very similarly to Super Smash Bros. Like I said, you got side smash, you got down, you got up, and then these trigger commands, you can actually, apparently, you can command other characters to use stuff, although I've never actually gotten it to work right. So if somebody explains it to me so that I understand better, I'd be most grateful. Trying to think of what else matters now. Let's fight something else. Shoot first, ask questions later. I'm asking too many questions. Namco is going to show up, knock on my door, and take me down. Listen, bird. And that was completely my fault. There is a block button in this that I could be using, but I'm not. I think it's B on this controller, but I don't know. I haven't gotten deep enough into the game yet on a PC playthrough for that to really matter, but you know what? Let's level Genus up too. So 2 or 3 more encounters. Then we'll heal, then we'll head to the temple, and if we get into an encounter on the way, we'll live. Early game combat, like so many RPGs, does look pretty repetitive, but at least they're giving us some nice wolves to chew on here. Although, man, oops. I was not paying close enough attention. I really hadn't meant to use that life bottle. That would be hilarious, Takeda. Bandai Namco vs. Busker in Wii Sports Boxing. I would not stand a chance. There are some games I'm good at. Boxing is not one of them. Alright, 1 or 2 more. I'm not going to go against the big parties. We're just going to take 2 small parties. These little roving pancakes. Alright, 1 wolf is fine. 1 wolf we can block. I don't know why Genus wasn't going after the bird. But alright. You're not that low on health. He's faking it. That's a total flop. Do I go with soccer or basketball to make the joke, I wonder? Well, some of my European pals would be offended that I didn't use the term football. But it's a very important weekend here in the States on this side of the pond because the collegiate level of what we call football has its kind of big, hard opening weekend. We did a soft open last weekend, but just about everybody who went to a decent-sized college has their team's first game today. And again, it's a borderline holiday. Has Genus leveled up? Genus has leveled up. Now Lloyd's close, but let's heal him up. And actually stop in the store and buy a life bottle to make up the one that I failed to protect. So yeah, the town of Asalia is kind of charming, and we can take a look. Go up into Colette's room because nobody in this game world believes in any privacy. She lives in a decent environs. I like that tea set there. I wonder if any of these books are hiding some hint. What about this one? The Teachings of Martel. Let's see. Chapter 1. The Establishment of the Church of Martel. This is confusing me because Lloyd is billed as semi-literate through most of this game, yet he's the one reading. Begin with a lesson in world regeneration. Hey! Are you familiar with the legends, though? A tree. Honestly, Tales, they did a decent job doing the whole, believable origin myth to base the belief system of this world around. which is today, if you recall. I had not uncovered that dialogue before. I don't think I'd bothered to come up to Colette's room before. That was nice. Alright, now we're going to head to the item store, which is hopefully open, because again, that's something else I have not done in this game before, is really explore the town of Asalia before going through the first major plot point. Oh good, he's doing his thing. Welcome to Halo. Halo, Halo, I don't know. Alright, we got a little bit of money, so we made up for that missing life bottle. And I'm going to do a little exploring of Halo, because it looks like this dude lives and works here. I enjoy working a little bit away from where I live, personally, but hey, if he's committed to his work. It's really true. They don't mind, they don't seem to be any the wiser. Oh, did I have that in there? Really? Oh, well, I'll keep going about my way, walking in a prescribed path back and forth, regardless of what's crumbling around me. To field, please. Hello? There's a little bit of that, like, touchiness on the loading zones and whatnot. But truthfully, this game is pretty well put together. One thing visual spec snobs might not dig, the standard def release of this, you know, on GameCube, PS2, etc., is 60 frames per second, but it's not just my stream. The HD version is actually calibrated to run at 30. So that might grind your gears a tad. If you're used to putting up with my stream, it's nothing new. Up here, have you guys been seeing the icons for Toko and Pretzel? I just realized that I haven't yet, but directly above my head is supposed to show that this layout, which is, you know, by far the nicest thing I've ever had, and I don't mind being cocky about it because I didn't make it. Toko Tomcat made that. If you want to commission him for stuff, I highly recommend him. He was fast, he consulted me, he was willing to do multiple drafts based on my inability to articulate what I wanted, and it came out looking like this. So that's Toko, T-O-K-K-O, underscore, Tomcat, T-O-M-C-A-T. Then the logo, down there, is based on my like awful MS Paint sketch, but Pretzel put that together for me. Again, oh, there it is. In an afternoon, on virtually no notice. So both those guys, really great dudes. And if you want their art, you've got one happy customer here telling you, hey, you won't be disappointed. Alright, more cutscenes. I think these ones have voice acting, so I'm a... Never mind. Here's another of the little... They kind of cast Colette as a ditz, and it gets funnier and funnier, in my opinion, as the game goes on. You'll become the chosen who's gonna save the world, right? You're gonna be like the hero, Mythos. She's just always so excited. Colette has the personality of a dog. Pretty much, Tom. Pretty much. Truly, this is another place where the game's technical limitations show. The in-engine cutscenes suffer a little bit from just the limits to what they can actually do with the objects. And so they try to use a lot of like lighting effects and camera cuts to imply that stuff happens, but it's a little bit limp, and I'd have loved to see them touch that up in the HD remake, but the Zions broke the treaty, attacked the temple. So now she's got something to do. The Chosen. Here's another point where I get to prove my mettle, or not. And I don't actually know how the trust with these two characters is impacted by both choices, so I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to. Takada. And dead. Poor priest. Another dwarven vow. I'm going to pour a little more coffee while this is going. Don't mind me. Make sure I don't overfill myself. Okay, looks like I chose well, because I agreed with Genus's heart, and Colette was appreciative. I don't know why, but even though these stairs clearly aren't stairs in the game world, texture-wise, I appreciate the art style of that room, and the camera angle.
Where is the chosen?
Yeah, and that is true. They pretty much either keel over, or and then they were never there. Ooh, voice acting, my bad.
Run, Colette.
Lord Boda, there she is. Chosen one, your life is mine.
Science get away with anything.
Desires?
Telegraph that one anymore.
So funny.
There's something off about these designs.
Well then, die at the hands of the Desians you so hate. Get them.
One thing I should have bought was magic lenses, which are an item that will let you see the hit points of anybody that you fight. And there's probably Steam achievements for completing that. They actually get stored in a monster log that you receive as a gift shortly. Again, not really a spoiler, just something that happens. Oh hey, that was really my first time completing a combo like that in battle. Well, I earned the title of combo newbie, but like against a boss fight, the magic lenses are actually pretty helpful in determining you know, how far you gotta go. It can affect your strategy in terms of whether to go for broke or play it safe. Okay, so thanks to leveling up and whatnot, Genus just got a new skill, and I can reset the tech on that at some point.
This guy's strong.
Cutscene. Got through that decently fast. And so here's an example of a clumsy cutscene that I wish they had fixed for the HD. Whoa.
Who are you?
Get out of the way.
No, you.
Don't even try it.
Okay, B is the guard button, just confirmed by getting bopped multiple times. But this guy's absurdly easy to counter. And I really haven't earned the Tetraslash combo? Ah well. There's a lot of titles for Lloyd early on. I think it's one of those situations where they expected comboing and working the controls to be tougher for gamers than it was.
Don't overdo it.
Oh, that's one improvement from standard def, is when the characters use voice acting. I knew that was a chance of happening, but
Be careful. Don't even try it.
it was a calculated risk that did not pay off. Good lord. Alright.
Believe I lost to a bunch of kids.
You picked the
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Oh hey, there's that life bottle I used. See? Calculated risk. I knew it all along.
Never thought you.
Never mind that I lost a half a grade.
Retreat for now.
Amazing.
So for those keeping score, the Desians thought it was hilarious that we called them Desians, and this guy is somebody.
This guy's incredibly strong.
And apparently Genus has hops. He just got like half his height airborne.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is everyone all right? No one seems to be hurt.
Is that an X-sphere?
Lloyd gave a brief 101 description of X-Spheres about 4 cutscenes ago.
How can I ever thank you for saving the Chosen?
Run like Naruto.
This world, the next chosen.
I don't know. Apparently that's just the way to get around in these kinds of
That's right.
universes.
I have to go accept the Oracle. Grandmother, I'm going to undergo the trial now.
I don't know how she forgot a thing like that, but
Monsters, I assume. An evil presence radiates from inside this chapel.
Yes, that is correct. The Chosen is to receive judgment from heaven, but the priests that were to accompany her fell at the hands of the Desires.
And I'll take on the job of protecting Colette.
Lloyd, I would be uneasy with just you.
just now noticed that Lloyd wears suspenders. What?
Your name is Lloyd?
Yeah, but who are you to ask for my name?
Lloyd, you gonna get your butt beat?
I am Kratos, a mercenary. As long as you can pay me, I'll accept the job of guarding the Chosen.
Under the circumstances, I have little choice. Please be of service.
It's a deal, then.
Never said how much. I hope that she gives, like, the equivalent of, you know, a couple pennies or a nickel or something. What? I told you, 1,000 doll hairs.
Boy, and wait here.
I think I'm going to be a smart aleck here. This is one of those things that I think was lost in localization, where it sounds like I'm just going with him here, but the idea is that I'm deflecting and kind of outwitting him.
Gotcha. Then I'm just gonna follow you on my own.
That's a good observation, Takeda. Now, I don't actually know when Naruto, you know, found its heyday.
I'll do just that.
This would have been 2003 was the initial release of this.
Let's go,
2002, 2003. Was Naruto already substantially a thing by then?
Lloyd, I figured you were going to say that.
Of course.
This isn't a field trip, you know.
I love that just utter derision in his voice. Different than usual. Okay, 2003. Wow. Wow. Good on you, Takeda. I think that puzzle's solved. This lists a lot of the basic mechanics that, if you guys have questions about them, feel free to ask me. As shoddy as my skills are in this game, I've at least played for long enough that I don't need the contents of the training manual. One thing that I am going to do, because it's fun though, you can select and have different active party members. I'm going to head back to the town while I still have this chance before we get too locked into the plot of the game. There's kind of a funny subplot, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing any, because there's a title in it for Colette. When Colette, the active party member, will change the dialogue on some of our interactions. Oh, and it wouldn't hurt to heal either. But you notice Colette's personality is a little bit like a dog, easily excited, naive, faithful to her friends to a fault. And whenever she encounters a dog, she goes gaga and then gives it a name. And if you name every dog in the land, you receive a title for Colette. So I'm going to take a walk through town and see if I can get to know any good boys. Oh, fine. There's a dude up there wearing glasses. I don't think there were any dogs in the shop. Man, everyone's locking their doors and windows. Alright, this might be a fool's errand, and I apologize in advance if it is, but at least we got a heal and a save out of it, so I'm not too mad. Hopefully y'all aren't either. Maybe there'll be just a dog strolling by. This is Genus and Rain's house. Lloyd, do you need something from my house? No, not really. Come on, what about the Chosen's trial? Stop messing around. Fair enough. Alright, and there we are. Okay, so thank you for indulging that. Now we're going to go back to Lloyd, because that's who I be. It me. And we are going to proceed. Since I have Kratos now, I'm going to set up his AI. We're going to set him to protect his friends, aka attack, you know, if an enemy is on somebody with low HP. He has the ability to heal, and he is our party's healer, so even though he's also the strongest in melee combat, I'm going to set him to be a healer. So we're also going to not set him at the front lines, even though I otherwise would. And we're back in the overworld. If we encounter somebody, so be it. Gotta get used to fighting with Kratos anyway. Took out the small guy to clear out the big guy. Hey, it's a bird. Well, that was accidental and clumsy. This is one common complaint with the SD version 2. Is that somehow the joysticks are less responsive on PC to the jump command, which is, again, like Super Smash, you just input up on the joystick and it's supposed to read jump. I just earned a 3 grade for that. Wow. So I got a new attack that was kind of a thrust, so even though I have it listed as my up and down attack, I'm going to make it instead, or as my vertical attack. I'm going to make it my lateral one. There's another mechanic that in time I'll have to introduce as well. Each fighter can vary between one of 2 fighting styles, and that'll determine the moves that they're able to learn. There's T-type, which I think is for technical, and S-type, which is for strike. The idea being technical is more finesse-ish, or more groovy moves that is like fewer hits, but each hit does more damage, whereas strike, I think, leads you to a lot more rapid-fire, small damage. I don't know that for a fact, though. That's my speculation, but, I mean, you'll find any of 18... No, I wanted to fight the spider. Not the ghost, the spider. There's about 8 million guides that detail every possible facet, nook, cranny, etc. of this game. And it's one of those things that I like it for the narrative, I like it for the fight mechanics, so personally I'm never going to sit and hundo this game. I just don't have the man hours, and I don't know the game that well, despite having played through it 3 or 4 times. The worm. Also, I suppose I should, in the interest of being a truly thorough Let's Play, show the dead end before I actually solve the temple, for narrative completeness and whatnot. Alright. Okay, we're back to earning positive grade on battles, so my suckitude is somewhat diminished. Alright, can't go this way, because it's sealed. The Sorcerer's Ring. The game does take a lot of time developing characters, but it's kind of a blunt force development. They all just act out exaggerated trope versions of their character traits. So Lloyd goes into situations all charged up, and then at the first kind of adversity runs out of steam in terms of his dialogue and hates everything. Now his loyalty is beyond reproach, and so he always does the thing, but there's at least one instance of him griping and moaning about just about every new locale they reach. He's a complainer.
Let's get started.
Zombies. What's in your head? In your head. Zombie, zombie, I recently heard a newish cover of Zombie that I hadn't listened to before by Bad Wolves, which is a newish metal band that it turns out is fairly legit. They're a supergroup formed from the remains of some other big-time hard rock groups, and they're managed by somebody from Five Finger Death Punch. And it is not a bad cover at all. You'll be back? Alright, I'll see you when you get back, Takada. I should be going for at least another 40-50 minutes. I'm hoping to at least make it to where the game is a little more open world for us. Or, actually, I think I know the plot point I want to play to. We'll see if I can get that far. I am kind of dallying. Also, I guess I am going to need to export all these, aren't I? If I'm going to make this a Let's Play, I'll need every episode available. I don't know what makes a Let's Play, though, because I rarely watch them. I wonder if I need to get people in Discord to chat with. If I should be more hands-on or hands-off with my narration of things. One thing that I'm going to fix is go into the cooking menu, because I mentioned that that is a mechanic that exists. By default, by far the best cook in the game is Genus, and you notice that he has a higher ceiling in terms of number of stars he can earn as a chef when making sandwiches. But then they've also got different sets of ingredients which will make a difference in terms of the effectiveness of the meal. So we're going to have Genus cook our sandwiches after fights, and because Genus is a little low on TP after the battle, we're going to have him cook this next battle. The Sorcerer's Ring. Let's go get it. There's something near! Name the game, name the game. Alright, we battling. I should have bought magic lenses when I went to Asalia. Do I have any? I have a single magic lens. Okay, he's not that bad on health. I knew that attack pattern, and yet I still got hit by it. I was expecting a different one, which is why I charged in to fall for it twice. Gaining new attacks is based on frequency and distribution, with which you use your existing ones. So even though I've been using Demon Fang to decent effect here, I'm going to start using Sonic Thrust, and hope that my allies are using diverse attacks as well. So again, the game beats you over the head with the puzzle solving. Oh hey, there's a dude in the background just yucking it up. Hello, little deranged skull man. We'll see you soon enough. So, I wonder what I do with this one.
Reinforcements, huh?
Now, one bummer is that I know factually that the golem has about 1200 hit points now, but I don't get to see this one's gauge just because I used a magic lens on the last one. It's not like, say, Goombario's Tattle in Paper Mario, or Oh, what's her name in Thousand Year Door? Goombella? It's not like that. It's not a permanent thing, which is kind of a drag, but I get. What is permanent, though, is that allies will remember their elemental weaknesses and tend to use skills in line with those strengths and weaknesses. Now, I'm going to fill up the whole grid now, because there are treasures that are worth acquiring. So I'm going to lay low and let it use the spiral attack. AI is usually a little faster on the guard than I am, so that's why I'm playing it safe here. Technical smash. Yay. Yeah, I'm going to... Well, sandwiches heal HP. I'm not going to cook. We can chalk that up as a Busker Promise TM. Controller, please. Looks like we're good. Alright, now you see for some of these, I'm going to have to push it down, and it's not all the way in an indentation. The golem won't appear until it is, so I've got to go down and fix things myself. I could also save, which would be smart, but I like living dangerously, so I'll save once the puzzle's solved. My ear really itches. That probably looked vulgar and lewd, but it was like just outside the inner ear, so it, there was no way to do that without looking like I was going digging, which is nasty. but that had to happen. Thought I was gonna beat the thing to the treasure, but alright, we gotta... Alright, Wrecking Crew, let's take care of business. Listen, pal. Alright.
Don't overdo it.
I think the slime is more likely to respond to my attacks than the ghosts. Hey, quit biting my style, man. We need to get Kratos some magic. Whoa! It had taken my input before the fight. I wonder if there's any nifty kind of menu storage from that. Oh, the would-be speedrunner in me just had some light bulbs. One thing I'm going to take the time to do is tell Kratos to chill with the healing, because it seems to be not as necessary as I'd have thought. Alright, Golem, what you got? So the reason for that, I was trying to walk into his zone to bait him into the attack before the others got close. And unfortunately, Genis is not that intelligent, so maybe I should take him out of moderation mode. Because the thing is, unless I use one of my healing items, he has to land melee hits now to regenerate his magic. So I'd rather him just kind of sit there. And you notice you get a fixed amount after every battle, so Genis is going to be a little less useful to us than he otherwise would be. For a minute. Alright, we got one more puzzle room to unlock. And in this game, there is also the ever-present trope of fake item chests, and they are pretty powerful in this. Crud. Knew that was going to happen. The birdies. I forget if you can, like, mash your way through stun to make it pass faster. That would be a helpful thing. Colette, you should run. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna cook here. And it healed a little bit. Not a ton, but enough. Alright, she is now going back to the front lines with me. Eventually her skill set becomes better oriented towards long distance magic, but for now we're kind of stuck with that. And there will be more treasure to the right. There's also treasure up above that I'm going to go for before we clear this room. Alright, how we doing on health? If your name's not Colette, you're fine, so let's go ahead and send her back into Don't Pursue mode and take out this boy. Oh. Chill, slime. Alright, let's Sonic Thrust this boy. Thrust him off the screen. The nice thing about being a melee heavy character is that melee attacks restore 1 TP each, which means that Lloyd in the early game is never really at risk of running out. Panacea Bottle was found. Panacea Bottle is what cures status changes like poison and possibly stun. I never really bother, I just kind of ride it out. Fun fact, when I was a wee little tyke, I think I was in either 8th grade or a freshman in high school when this first came out, I, for the first couple hours of the game, misread it as Pancreas Bottle because I wasn't really paying attention or reading carefully. I was in a hurry, for some reason, on my first playthrough of a video game. Immersion was not my priority, which I regret. I think I got this game on sale at a GameStop at the same time that I got Soul Calibur 2 and F-Zero GX. That was an awesome summer. I think it was the summer between 8th grade and my freshman year. A lot of video games were played. Maybe. It might have been between freshman and sophomore year. I don't know.
Don't let up. Don't overdo it.
Oh right, I'm supposed to be using Sonic Thrust. Ah, it didn't last.
Justice and love will always win.
Oh, I hate that scene.
Post-battle dialogue is determined by and large by who gets the finishing blow and who's in the party. When you have more than 4 in your party, oops, spoilers, that's going to happen. Different combinations will lead to different post-battle dialogue, and so it's worth it to mix and match. Though generally I prefer to just have Lloyd around. Okay, an apple gel, that's a healing item. And a life bottle, that's what we use when I'm careless and get Lloyd killed. Alright, now we proceed. We have one more block to drop down here, and then we can clear the plot point. I've been live for an hour. Where's Stay Hydrated Bot? I'm disappointed. Okay, good. Get got. Oh.
That's that.
You just copied me and got the credits. It's kind of like when you're in class and you say something really witty under your breath, but you don't know if you should say it out loud because you don't know if the teacher would take to it, and then the cool kid in class just repeats it louder, and then everyone goes, "Oh my god, you're so funny." Same, Pretzel. Also, hi, Pretzel. How are you, my dude? That was a Zelda noise! It Zelda noised me, so I did it right. Also, it skipped me having to walk upstairs. That's kind of cool. This is the Sorcerer's Ring. It's a holy artifact. Holy artifact, Batman! Like me. You're congested. Oh, dude, that's rough. Are you going to try and game through the congestion, or are you going to take some downtime? I recommend the latter, but I understand if you go the former. Your stream seems to have had some nice momentum lately, and even though it's never about the numbers, I personally get where that can feel really good.
Take them down quickly.
And, like, I will not lie, there were a couple times, it was the summer of 2016, right before Zem got big and he'd occasionally raid me. Like, when I would extend streams after a Zem raid, even if I had been intending to stop within 10 or 15 minutes, because I'm vain and I enjoyed having people to hang with. Working today like usual? Alright, well, hey. Take care of yourself, you know, monitor, I know you know all this, but monitor how you feel as you're going about it. If you need downtime, I've got to believe the folks in your life will understand. At least I hope that's the case. I don't know them too well, so I can't say with any authority. Alright, so we're charging through the rest of the temple, which really isn't much. That was the meat of it. We just gotta grind through a couple more monsters, or skip them, and then we get to the next plot point. There's one big benchmark I kinda want to hit on this first episode of my Let's Play, so to speak. You'll be okay? Alright, that's good. Alright, good. Positive grade for that fight, even though I was pretty sloppy. Skit. A number of character tropes beaten over our heads there. Lloyd is headstrong. Genus is observant. Kratos is dismissive of them as children. Colette apologizes for everything as though it's her fault. She'd make a good Canadian. Oops, sorry about that. And then the dwarven bows. Lloyd loves using them to rationalize his bullheaded decisions, but he hates dwarven vow number 1 because it uses the word love and he thinks it's sappy. And it's really the only one that any other characters bring up. Also, there's a couple retranslations and mislocalizations, so the dwarven vows are not quoted verbatim every time they come up, which I find kind of funny, because that sounds like the sort of credo that you would be expected as a dwarf kid to learn by heart, you know what I mean? Like, word for word, even if you could get the general gist of it by paraphrasing, like it wouldn't, you know, your parents would be like, that's not the wording. I don't know, though. I'm not a dwarf parent. Maybe they're hands off. Also, you might notice that there's kind of a limit break deal. I was over limit there, which meant that I was taking less damage, kind of in the zone. Couldn't have my attacks countered. It was nice. Now we get to see the Sorcerer's Ring in all of its glory. Key unlock. You get bored so easily. Alright, how are we on health? I don't think we have to fight anything, but it's always nice to know.
This appears to be the top floor.
Yes, that's the altar.
And that shining thing there must be the Crucius crystal.
That's right. They say I was born with that in my hand.
Look at that light!
What is that?
An angel, I would assume.
So, is that Colette's real father?
I am Remiel. I am an angel of judgment. The time has come to awaken the goddess Martel, who sleeps at the center of the world.
Awaken the goddess Martel. It's just like the legend Rain told us about.
From this moment, Colette becomes the chosen of regeneration. We of Crucius bless this event, and hereby bestow the Tower of Salvation upon Silverant.
That is so architecturally unsound, unless that thing literally goes through to the core of the planet. That'd be like putting a little dab
That's the Tower of
of tacky
Salvation.
glue on a golf ball and then planting a toothpick in the glue.
Now the world will be saved.
Colette, the chosen of regeneration.
I humbly accept this task.
Very good. We of Crucius shall grant you the power of the angels with each seal you unlock. Once you are reborn as an angel, this eroded world shall be regenerated.
Thank you. I swear on my life I will regenerate the world.
First, head south to the Seal of Fire. Offer your prayers in that distant land.
Yes, Lord Remiel. Oh, wait! Please wait! I have a question I wish to ask of you. Are you really my
First, head to the Seal of Fire. Understood, my beloved daughter Colette?
father?
We shall meet again at the next seal, my daughter.
Daddy didn't give attention. Actually, that was a really messed up song to sing with the context. My bad. Oops. So Pretzel very much distrusts Remiel. King, exactly. Well placed, Pretz. Colette just casually invited Lloyd back to her place, so that's cool. Here's another important aspect of Lloyd's character. There again, I think that's a localization thing, because that dialogue didn't seem that confrontational, but Genus felt like he had overstepped. I think maybe that the umbrage is better conveyed in Japanese. I don't know, though. Lloyd just sliding on over there. Important questions, right? On that note, I don't mean to be the needy validation-seeking guy, but if there's any folks out there who are participant in chat, I hope my stream resolution is high enough that the text is legible. If it's not, I'll do more reading of the text, and I'll also blow through it faster. My thought was that if I do a little less of this and let you guys read it, it'll be better viewing. I did not dox myself, Pretzel. This is a band that is blowing up on the scene and are pretty nationally big. You are correct that they originate only a couple hours from where I live, but even that's a pretty wide radius, right? It's not even a guarantee that you would get the right region if I said they're a couple hours from me. Here's another little plot trope that I think is conveyed better in Japanese, but Rain has a literal fetish for archaeological ruins, so just have fun with this one. Instantly closes 4 tabs. I'm not taking any advice on teaching style from Rain. Just gonna make that clear, because I enjoy having a job. I think it is controller end Pretzel. I've noticed that it happens a lot more when I rotate the angle of the controller. In particular, when I go up past parallel, it's more likely there. And then when I come back, we're good. So I've been just trying to keep it angled down. When it disconnects is when it means I'm fidgeting. I don't think it's port side. I think it's here. Anyway, I'm gonna stop playing with it now. Come on, come on. Okay. Well, shoot, now I've got to get situated again. Alright, we're good, we're good. So now I just don't move. And we're fine. Permission from Fada. If you recall, that's Colette's grandma. Skip. For as morally absolutist as Lloyd is about most things, it's funny that he still has that childlike kind of mischief penchant, if you get what I mean. Oh, that's going to be a problem if it happens in the battle. I might have to resituate the cord. Okay, I think we're good now. You're better off not knowing. In case it wasn't made clear, that was Rain enjoying some ruins. Lots of skits here, and early game they're mostly worth it. Game. The other bad thing is if it reactivates while I'm pressing the joystick, that gets set to neutral, so I've got to be careful. What up, Hydrate Bot? Sorry about the USB noise. Oh my gosh, so many skits. I have an idea. We're going to support the cord. I mean, it hadn't happened for about 15 minutes, and now it's just non-stop. So now I just gotta hold very, very still. Also, there's only 2 of us now, so I have to be careful about getting into fights with the larger parties. In case it hasn't been made clear, anytime I'm in an overworld and it's like the purple jello avatars, the ones that can walk are usually bigger parties and harder enemies. The ones that are little flat pancakes are, you know, little 2-offs, 1-offs that are meant to be easily dispatched. So I'm gonna try to get around this bouncer guy and take on this one, which will clear the screen momentarily of enemies, so that I don't have to mess with a bigger party. Which means that I won't have wolves to contend with, which means that, you know, I won't get ganged up upon. Genus was low on magic, so he decided to melee it up. Alright, 1.5 grade, we'll take that. Heading back to Asalia, overshot Asalia. My sense of direction is great because the camera's great. And we're back in. Let's save because it's a good habit to save. I don't think I've ever gone back into the school. I think I've always just headed straight for Colette's house. Busker was curious. Oh, I've done this. It's worth it to explore, because anytime you get extra dialogue like this, it can often lead to titles for the party members. Class is over. Let's go on the world regeneration journey. You like that caveat? Genus obtained the title of Philadelphia. So here again, there's no reason not to engage that title. Also, I haven't used any of Lloyd's, aka the one that I've earned. There's one called Tetra Slash when you execute a 4-hit combo that I could have sworn I've already gotten, and I think it's slightly better than Combo Newbie. So I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get it. Alright, there's NPCs milling about now, so I'm hoping... I want to scan the town for dogs. As I mentioned, there's a title for Colette, and so I just need to make a mental note as I play through the game, whether it's going to be worth it to try. See, there's totally a dog. I need Colette in my party to interact with that dog. And I don't think I get her back for the next little while. Get out my way, fool. No need to go shopping right now. I guess maybe some of these locked buildings might be unlocked again. Let's see. Yo. Hello. I need to do a thorough job of cleaning for tomorrow. Yeah, you do. Nothing really in here. I am hoping to encounter one of the many fun side quests in the game, and I forget if there's a chance in Azalea or not. That's the item store. We don't mess with that. Who's in here? If you see any background objects that look exceptionally out of place, please do let me know, because I'm not exactly scouring. I'm just kind of poking my head in gently. Desians are half-elves, right? I wish the Desians and the half-elves... Well... There's allegory there, mistaking the actions of the extremist few to represent the values and beliefs of the group as a whole. Also, fantasy racism. Empty house. Nobody here. Again, I'm looking for things that are just absurdly out of place, but there don't appear to be any. Alright. Onward to Frank's house. I missed.
Then we shall entrust the protection of the Chosen to Kratos and Rain.
I have no objections.
Thank you so much for your help earlier.
Oh, you're back. Thank you for your assistance earlier. Please accept this small thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phaedra. Say, were you talking about the world regeneration journey just now?
Yes.
Wow, I want to go too. I want to see Colette regenerate the world.
If Rain is going, I want to go too.
No, you'll get in the way.
What?
The battles at the chapel were nothing compared to the journey that awaits us. Children need to stay home.
Kratos is absolutely right. Now then, we still have things to discuss. You two should go on home.
Please wait. I'm sorry.
It's not like it's your fault.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Listen. Never mind.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, Colette! I baked you some cookies. If I knew you'd be leaving tomorrow, I would have made something a little more special, but...
No, I love your cookies. Thank you very much.
So what about you, Lloyd? You promised to make her a necklace, right? Don't tell me you forgot.
It's almost done. I'll give it to you tomorrow before you leave. I swear.
Really, I'm so happy. As soon as I find out when we're leaving, I'll go to your house to let you know.
Busker promised TM.
Isn't it going to be dangerous?
I'm the Chosen, remember? I'll be fine. See you later then.
Liar.
If I start on it now, I'll finish it in time.
Oh, really? Well, whatever. By the way, you're going home now, right? Can I go part of the way with you?
Sure, but where are you going to go?
I'm going to see a friend.
Huh? I didn't know you had friends outside the village besides me.
Does it matter? Anyway, can we swing by my house so I can get my stuff?
Yeah, we can do that. I was gonna make another point during the cutscene and then I forgot. More blunt force tutorial, but I don't mind if you don't mind. He's right, they aren't. Hear an explanation about cooking? No. I'll be your explanation about cooking. Just say so in chat if you would care to learn about cooking. Otherwise, gonna again peruse the house. Genus is kind of a little snot. He's very hard to empathize with. Also in that box next to that bed were a bunch of spare of Genus's weapons, which I forget what they're called. And out we go. This creature. Noish. Pronounced Noish. He's acting sketchy all of a sudden. I wonder what's going on. I wish I had a dog with ears like Noish. Near as I can tell, Noish's role isn't fully explained in the game the way that some other things are. I can get about 20 pixels this way before the game railroads me, so we're just going to head right where we're supposed to, which is normally the last thing I want to do in casual playthroughs of games. I'll resemble that remark. Genus breaking the fourth wall, pointing out all the plot holes and design quirks. He's here, let's fight him. I need to get better at the fighting mechanics anyway. So again, I like to try to bait the enemies into fast strikes and then use that little... It's when you're guarding, you dash backwards. And that usually can leave them vulnerable so that you at least make sure to take the initiative. But then from there, you see I'm kind of clumsy when it comes to breaking out of combos and dashing away. So I usually take my fair share of licks when I play this. I'm a little better at it on a GameCube, where it's 60 FPS and the joystick isn't quite as directionally sensitive. But I've got my work cut out for me in this game, that is for sure. Here again, I might or might not regret passing on the magic lenses. I usually reserve them for bosses. I don't ever try to fill out the catalog, as fascinating as it is. That could be something that if anybody really wanted to see it late in a playthrough, I could scour the world for every last monster you encounter. Ah, the worm. That's the monster that ate Wormy! These bees don't mess around though, man. Yeah, I told you he showed up. He's been there for about 15 minutes. Hydrate showed up at about the hour 20 mark, but he didn't nag me yet. Also, I'm kind of two-fisting beverages. I've got my coffee here-ish, and I've got water there-ish. So I just... Genus's friend. Let's play the skit while I sip. Hello? Oh, I just turned on the macro. Also, the mix of surprisingly observant and completely obtuse that Lloyd is they do a pretty good job milking it for humorous effect, I think. Apple Joe. Wrong way. I get lost in rooms with single forks in the road. That's just kind of what I do. Just got critted by a bunny rabbit. Also, I'm actually taking some serious damage, so we're gonna... Dang it, Genus. That boy ain't right. Life bottle. Good, I'm apparently about to need one. If I keep fighting like this. Okay, good, it worked. I still took damage. That's just like salt in the wound. Also that, I forget what it's like a mini-coid or something, the gassy mushroom, for lack of a better term, is posing a greater threat than it ought. No, I turned around, I swear, game. I turned around before I fought.
Did we win?
I like the dramatic out-of-breath Lloyd there. Oh, Genus, you done goofed. Here again, we've got Lloyd to completely spell out the basics of the plot. Oh, you guys done goofed. This ain't gonna end well.
Hey! Stop slacking off, swine!
I was wrong. Not yet. Okay. Can't go that way. Who would have thought we couldn't just barge through the front door?
Marble. Genus, is that your friend?
Yeah, I'm Lloyd.
I am pleased to meet you.
Marble, did you see it? There was an oracle.
Yes, I did. I saw the Tower of Salvation. Now the Chosen's journey of regeneration can finally begin. I hope it is successful this time.
The last Chosen failed, right?
Yes, I heard the Chosen was killed by Desians during the journey.
I wonder if Colette will be all right.
Let us pray to Martel. May she guide the Chosen on a safe journey.
Hey, Gramps,
Her name's Marble.
Marble, isn't that an X-sphere?
Oh, is that what this is called? They placed it on me shortly after I came here.
Yeah, that's definitely an X-sphere, but there's no key crest on it. An X-sphere without a key crest is dangerous.
What's a key crest? And how is it dangerous?
A attaching an X-sphere directly to your skin supposedly makes you sick. But ironically, it's useless unless you attach it directly onto the skin. So, in order to prevent it from making you sick, you carve a spell into a special ore and use that as a mount for the X-sphere. That's the key crest.
You're very knowledgeable.
But it looks like Marble's X-sphere doesn't have a mount at all.
Nope, doesn't look like it. If the charm was the only thing needed, I could carve one myself, but there's nothing I can do without the inhibitor ore that acts as the mount.
There has to be something you can do, Lloyd.
It's not as easy as you think. Key crests are dwarven technology.
Your dad's a dwarf. Please ask him for help, Lloyd.
Fine, fine. I'll ask him.
All right. That's why I like you, Lloyd.
Please don't trouble yourself.
Hey, old hag! What the hell you doing over there?
Oh no, the Desires. Run away, you two. Hurry.
But who knows what they may do to her?
I know that, but what can we do? If the Desires find out we're here, just think about what they'll do to Marble and the people of the village.
That's right. You must go.
I'm sorry, Grams.
What are you doing over here? Who said you could slack off? Get back to work.
I'm sorry.
What's with that look, huh? Looks like someone's got an attitude problem.
No, of course not.
Shut up! You two, take a
Shut up!
We're gonna give her a little lesson on respect.
Yeah.
That in unison. Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't look good. They're taking her to the back.
I like how he knows what that means.
But what can we do?
There's gotta be something we can do. Let's find higher ground where we can see what's going on in there.
Fair enough. One question that lingers for me, and I think it's alluded to but not explicitly answered, is how Genus ever became friends with her in the first place. We've only been using that all game, but okay. Yeah. Now let's go the wrong way because there's treasure. Of course there is. Orange gel. Apple gels restore health, and orange gels restore TP, which is like MP in most games. You know, your magic points, your mana. Technical points? I don't actually know what the T stands for.
We've gotta save her.
They're systematic about taking turns.
But how?
You attack the Desires from here with magic.
What? Are we gonna get in trouble?
We don't have a choice. Afterwards, hide among the bushes and make your way back to the village. I'll act as the decoy.
But that'll put you in danger.
Don't worry. I'll head down the cliff so they don't see my face. Then I'll run in the opposite direction from the village.
Okay. You should replenish your energy before we do this. I've got some leftover cookies from the ones I gave to Colette. Here, have some.
Alright, I'm going to have to actually be careful on this battle because I tend to carelessly get myself whooped with my spray and pray inattentive fighting style.
Open the main gate!
Are you all right, Marble?
Quickly, come this way.
Genus, Lloyd, thank you.
Oh, Genus, you done goofed.
What was that?
Uh-oh.
You little brat.
All right, let's go.
Ah. The problem is 2-on-1 is just not an optimal way to fight anyway, but I'm just not quite as facile yet on this PC controller. And that's a lame excuse, but I shouldn't have needed to take damage there. Not my proudest moment, and the great agreed. Lost a couple hundredths. That was probably mostly from taking a little bit too long, though. Not bad, human.
They saw your face. I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Don't worry about it.
But
I took out the ones that saw my face, and the rest of them are still back up on the cliff. As long as we hurry up and get out of here, they'll never know.
oh, okay.
Just do my homework for me, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna head on home. You should head back to the village.
Lloyd.
I just committed
thanks for
2
having
murders
rivals.
breaking a diplomatic treaty in your name, but do my homework and we're square.
Hey, that's what friends are for, right?
Analyze the data from the gate surveillance system.
Yes, sir.
When suddenly steampunk. Or I guess that's cyberpunk. I don't know. There's a little of both in this game.
Make that kind of jump.
Received Genus's equipment. And so now it's just me. Meaning again I have to not suck on my way back home. Oh no, I sucked.
Let's go all out. Demon Fang!
And this section here where you're Lloyd solo is why I rarely stray. You know, the game makes you learn his fighting style for a chunk of it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe I'll switch my main guy to somebody else when I get to the meat of the game. We're still solidly in exposition. I'm kind of taking my time.
I was just warming up.
About an hour and a half in, I think, when you count not my uptime, but how long it took me to actually get going. Hour and a half in, and I'm still sort of uncovering the very basics of the plot. But there's one major occurrence that I want to get to before I cut stream today that I think makes a sensible breaking point. And I've got the time to do it today, so... Hey man, lighten up. Oh, that got me. I admit, that caught me off guard. I was expecting to dodge.
Just as I expected.
Okay, lost a little grade. So it turns out the AI has been carrying me this whole time. That's cool. Lots of treasure in this section, just because. Also, I think it is kind of tutorial-esque. They're trying to train you to scour everywhere. Trying to emphasize sonic thrusts more than demon fangs. And it will tell you how much time you've spent, or how many times you've used each tech in the tech screen. So if I ever do get unbalanced, I can switch and focus on one more.
You picked the wrong guy to mess with.
In fact, let's see where I'm at. Hey, I broke even on grade. That's kind of funny. Tech. Lloyd. I've used 91 demon fangs and 30 sonic thrusts. Clearly, we've got a ways to go. I had too much caffeine. That's alright. That's why Stay Hydrated bot is going to tell me to stay hydrated any minute now.
All right, let's go.
Giant bee. Not the bees. Oh.
Bad, am I?
Who are you talking to, Lloyd? It just deflates. Alright, we made it. And again, there's like 2 pixels I can travel. So let's play the skit. Get some water in me. Wine, wine. Dirk is our dad. That's our mom. That's our house. I forget if there's any meaningful dialogue here, but... Okay, just, I'm home, Mom. I mean, that's meaningful, but... Alright, more plot up ahead.
Welcome back.
Say, is there any chance you could make me a key crest?
Why do you need a key crest all of a sudden?
I met someone today who has an X-sphere without a key crest. An X-sphere without a key crest is bad for you, right? Or wait, don't tell me that it's too late. Once you've attached an X-sphere without a key crest to your body.
Nah, not at all. But even removing an X-sphere that lacks a key crest is dangerous. So, the only thing to do is make an accessory out of inhibitor ore and carve the charm into that, making it into the key crest instead.
Huh. And then it'll be okay, huh? Then could you make me a bracelet as soon as possible?
Just a minute. The X-sphere with no key crest that you're talking about. Who has it?
Huh? A traveler? A traveling mercenary.
Baloney. X-spheres are basically only used by Desians. If he took one from a Desian, it should already have a key crest on it.
Well...
Dwarven vow number 11. Lying is the first step to the path of thievery. Tell me the truth. Why do you need a key crest?
I met someone at the ranch today who had an X-sphere equipped without a key crest.
Record scratch.
You went to the ranch?
I'm sorry. A bunch of stuff happened and...
You didn't let the Desians see your X-sphere, did you?
No, don't worry, I made sure. But why is it so important to hide this thing? The mercenary that came to the village today wore his right out in the open.
Your X-sphere is special.
Special? Is it different from the ones the Desians have equipped?
That X-sphere is your mother's keepsake. The Desians killed your mother in order to take it from her.
They did?
I told you about how I found you at the cliff near the ranch, right? Your mother was still conscious at that time, so she explained everything. There's no doubt about it.
Why didn't you ever tell me?
If I had, you'd have run out and tried to take revenge on the Desians. The Tower of Salvation appeared today. Just leave the rest to Colette. That'll take care of the Desians too.
But still...
Don't get involved with the Desians. Your mother protected you and that X-sphere with her life. Don't go throwing either away.
So will you make me the key crest?
Boy, have you been listening at all?
Yeah, I heard you. But you can't expect me not to do anything now that I know. You don't have to hit me! Oh. Let me guess. You heard that just now?
I'm sorry. Because of me, you...
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Lloyd, you should go speak to Colette. We'll wait here.
She's right there.
Okay.
Lloyd, let's go up to the terrace.
Just a minute.
Okay, I'll be waiting on the bench.
It's funny to me that they're gonna walk right back through where Dirk is, but so we got Kratos chilling by Mom. Alright, little flavor text, and now I've actually never gone back in and talked to Dirk. Oh, because you can't. Sure, fair enough. Called out.
I'm sorry for not finishing your birthday present in time.
It's okay. Don't worry about that.
But this sort of thing is special because you get it on your birthday, you know?
Well then, will you just wish me happy birthday?
Of course. Happy birthday.
Thanks. I'm glad I was able to live to this day.
What are you talking about? You're going to keep on living and regenerate the world.
Yeah.
So, about tomorrow, I can't come along with you, can I?
Well, it's just that the Desians will be after us, and it's gonna be a dangerous journey.
Desians. Up till now, I always thought my mom died in an accident. But she was murdered by Desians. Now that I know the truth, there's no way that I could keep living in a village that has a treaty with them.
Yeah. We're leaving tomorrow at noon. So would you come to the village around then?
Okay, you got it. Now I'll be able to see you become an angel with my own eyes.
Yeah. So Lord Remiel really is my father. I'm the child of an angel.
Does it matter? Regardless of who your real father is, you're still you. Nothing's changed. You just have two fathers. Just think of yourself as being lucky for having more than most people do.
I suppose you're right.
World regeneration, huh? It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Releasing the seals, becoming an angel?
Finally?
Nothing. Anyway, if we go to the Seal of Fire, I'll get to see my father again. I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, me too.
Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm coming. See you later, Lloyd.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Goodbye.
All right, time to make that present.
So it doesn't specify what they are, but the game telegraphs pretty brilliantly, oh hey, there's gonna be plot twists. A talk with Dad. But first, a save. And a quick scan of the room for anything out of place. Nope, we're good. And Dad.
Dad, about yesterday, I just...
Here. That's the key crest you wanted. You can use it however you like. Just remember, I did try to stop you.
Dad, thanks.
Dwarven vow number 2. Never abandon someone in need. I'm just going along with the teachings.
Dad, I'm going on a journey. I'm going to help Colette regenerate the world so that I can avenge my mom.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that. Take this with you. We've put together some things you'll need for your trip.
So you're forgiving me?
Yeah, but remember, this is your home. You're still my son, regardless of blood. Come back here anytime you're tired.
I will. Wish me luck.
Lloyd, don't ever forget Dwarven vow number 7.
Goodness and love will always win, right? Man, that's such a cheesy line for anyone to be saying these days. Don't worry,
That was number 1 in the post-battle dialogue. Continuity gap.
Let's go, Nosh. It's time to regenerate the world. Huh? What are you doing here?
Lloyd, you're still here?
Genus! Good timing. I got my dad.
Hydrate Bot was punctual.
That's great.
I meant like exactly 2 hours. Alright, thanks, Takada. I would estimate that I'm within 20 hours of or 20 minutes of knocking off.
Oh, yeah, about that. I've decided to join her.
Are you stupid or something? Colette and the others left a long time ago.
What?
I came looking for you because you never showed up.
You've got to be kidding me.
Lloyd, go to the village, now.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Buy lots of fun stuff. Tea. Alright, so I'm to go to Phaedra. Do we have Genus with us? Yes, we do. Let's go this way. Ooh, skip. Genus just kind of sliding on in. Black market. Illegal trades. That's an awfully vague answer to that. Okay. More skits. We're so close. Am I expected to be scouring the towns more than I am? But this is good character stuff. In we go. I am curious to see that, Pretzel. Did you tweet it out?
Dear Lloyd,
It's on your Discord. Okay, well I just
by the time you
hope
read
I'm not
this,
too glaringly
I'll
negative
be
an
on my
example.
journey.
You're welcome to use it.
I'm sorry for lying to you. The world regeneration journey is full of peril. Many chosens have failed. I care about you too deeply to let you get involved. I'm gonna do my best to stop the monsters and the Desians. So I want you to live a happy and peaceful life in the regenerated world. Thank you so much for your friendship and kindness all these years. I'm really lucky to have met you. Farewell, Colette.
I got you, Pretz. And this is about to get dark in a hurry. Just FYI, anybody who's still around, speaking of lurking. Timely interruption. That 90s sitcom look at each other. We gotta go. Alright, and at this point, you tell him, Buttsbot. Butsians. Also, heck of an entrance. We're like 10-15 minutes from the end of stream. Everything is on fire. This is fine. And so, on a scale of 1 to real, we might need a new scale. I'm going to try to put off going to the center of town because, at this point, I can get into a few optional battles and save the folks from the Desians. Like this dude with a helmet and a pitchfork who you'd think would be better equipped than average to take on a Desian. But it's up to us. So, let me make sure the strategy's set up. Good, exactly how I want it. And in we go. Stop.
Let's go.
Attack. Aww. Yeah, I'm getting Shreks. I kind of need Genus to... I guess the optimal strategy would be to go after the same one that Genus is going after, because it didn't seem to slow that guy down too much. Alright, well we got positive grades, so I wasn't that awful according to the game. But there are people inside the school. Man, even in Silverant they have lockdown procedures. I actually have a number of soapboxes on that topic that I'm not going to get into on a stream, but a number of thoughts in multiple directions going. Oh, this is a nice angry skit. Well, at least they agree. Can I go into the school at all? No. Anybody in here? It's locked. Again, I want to put off going into this map because I think it is going to trigger potentially the next bit of it. I want to avoid the center of the village for as long as I can. That was a little too gleeful. Okay, we've got ranged attack, so I'm going to prioritize the dude with the arrows.
You're going down.
The bowman. I used to know a guy whose last name was Bowman, spelled exactly like that. And I'm getting whipped to shreds, so I might change my tack here. Luckily, he just sat around like he was in no hurry. Admiring his work a little too much, I guess. Apple gel, but it's red. I don't know why it's red. I hope I don't have 20 of them. You can only carry up to 20 of any given item, and oh look, I have 20 of them. So, let's help ourselves. Yeah, I don't think he was expecting to break a sweat today. Alright, so we're going to take kind of an inefficient horseshoe path because, again, when I get too close to the center, it's going to trigger the cutscene. I want to make sure that I've taken everybody out. I don't know if there's actually any reward for it. Aw, dagnabbit. Okay. Well, I got lucky. It didn't trigger it. Let's see if there's anybody over by Genus's house. Our house in the middle of the street. This is a telling line. Won't say anything about it, but I hope you took that in. Alright. So I take that to mean that there's more carnage somewhere. Walk right up to the fire. Nothing happens. Well, I guess there's nowhere else I would have been able to get to, so yeah. There you go, Pretz. Our house in the middle of a fire.
Come to attack the village again? I've had enough of this!
What are you talking about? He speaks nonsense. Ignore him.
Listen up, inferior beings. I am Forcestus, one of the 5 Desian Grand Cardinals. I am a superior half-elf who rules over the farm where we cultivate you pathetic humans.
Cultivate. That's such a dark euphemism.
Lloyd, you, a human, have been found guilty for the crime of violating the non-aggression treaty. Therefore, I bring judgment upon you and this village.
You violated the treaty too. You tried to murder the Chosen.
Us? Kill the Chosen? I see now. They must be after the Chosen.
Hey, are you saying you aren't the ones that attacked Colette?
I have no need to explain myself to the likes of you. The only thing that matters is that you, Lloyd Irving, have been in contact with host body F-192 and attacked our guards.
What have you done?
Did you see how wide-eyed the mayor got?
We told you to stay away from the ranch.
I'm sorry.
We've prepared an appropriate opponent for your crime.
Due process is not a part of Silverant law, as we've learned.
Now, receive your punishment.
I don't think I have magic lenses, which is a mistake on my part. The mayor just sits down in resignation. If your sympathies lie with mine, you will probably learn to dislike the mayor. Also, apparently, these things are called exbeluas. Today I learned. I think it just says question mark in the standard def issue. Okay, so again, I try to bait one melee attack. Oh, nice, I have sword rain, which we didn't learn because Genus was using fireball at the time. So we're going to set that to... I'm more comfortable with it on B down. Sonic, ow. How we doing? 20% of the way there. So I want to bait another melee attack. Oh, crud. Okay. Ow. Okay, so Sonic Thrust does 70. I need to heal, and it's not like I'm hurting for apple gels. Now let's see what Sword Rain does. Oh, whoops, wrong attack. So I'm getting in the 60s, 70s. When we Sword Rain, it looks to be about 5 or 6 hits that total just over that damage. What on earth was that? Okay. Oh, crud. My fault. We're going to have Genus Orange up here, because he needs it. She counters pretty effectively, which is a bummer. Let's see what Demon Fang does. Okay, a little less than Sword Rain. The difference is actually pretty marginal. That surprises me. I should look at the TP cost of each. Also pretty marginal. Alright, we got her on the ropes. Hex no, I've got Bowser on the ropes. Name the reference. Come on, I believe in you. Genus is walking up to it, Pretzel. Sorry for missing the chat. Check Genus's TP. Genus is low on both things, really. Genus, we're going to update your strategy. You are going to run. Alright. And then I, Lloyd, a hero, am going to restore health. Don't die, you fool. Alright. Thank you, Pretzel. And I sure am. Also, wow, the game didn't think I sucked that bad. I thought I was pretty awful.
Lord Forcestus, just as you thought, that boy has an X-Sphere.
Oh, there goes my cover. Should have listened to Dirk.
No! This is a memento of my mom's, who you designed.
See, that would have been the place to use whom.
What are you talking about?
Hey, this first episode came full circle.
Run away, Genus, Lloyd. Well, what was that voice? It sounded like marble.
It can't be.
Get away!
Oh no, man.
Genus, you were like a grandson to me. Thank you. Goodbye.
No! Protect Lord Forcestus!
Lloyd, we will always come after you as long as you possess that X-Sphere. Always.
Marble? Marble! No!
What have you done? Look what happened to our village. It's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
Is the fire still excruciatingly loud? The first time I tried this, the fire was crazy loud.
You think you can fix this by apologizing? The Desians marked you as their enemy. As long as you are here, this village will never be at peace. Do you understand?
Wait a minute! You're going to exile him?
Yes.
That's not fair! Lloyd didn't do anything wrong! He just saved Marble!
Any involvement with the ranch is forbidden. There are no exceptions.
So it's okay to let people die at the human ranch as long as the village is safe?
The people at the ranch are just going to rot there anyway.
Yes. Had you not done something so stupid, they'd have been the only ones that died.
You humans are all the same.
That's enough, Genus. This was my fault.
Okay, so when you say equally quiet,
Mayor, surely you don't have to be so strict on a child.
is this at least audible, like when they're speaking? Because there's voice acting here.
What are you saying? Do you realize how many people died here because of him?
That is totally Lloyd. His voice, just on a different character, pretending to be deeper. I never noticed that.
It's not Lloyd's fault. I'm the one that took him to the ranch, so it's my fault.
Okay, that's good.
But it's Lloyd the Desires are after. And besides, Lloyd isn't from this village to begin with. He's an outsider, raised by a dwarf.
Then I'm leaving too. I'm just as guilty as
Will do, Pretz, for sure. I tend to always watch a minute or so of myself just to see what it was like as a viewer.
Genus.
And then if I need to make any major tweaks, I do.
Fine then. By the rights vested in me as mayor, I hereby announce the banishment of Lloyd and Genus from the village of Iselia. Get out!
I'm sorry for causing you trouble.
If you feel that way, please catch up to the Chosen and protect her. If in doing so, the world is saved, surely everyone will change their minds about you.
I'm sure Colette would want that as well.
I got you, Pretz. I'll definitely kick it up a notch then next time.
I will atone for what I've done. I swear to protect Colette for the sake of those who have died because of me.
I'll follow you, Lloyd. It's my fault that you were banished. So I promise to stick by you always.
Say, Genus, why don't you use that X-Sphere? That's Marble's memento.
Okay.
I'll explain
No,
to you
I got
things
you.
that keep us later. After all,
This is the opposite problem to what I normally have. And especially if I'm going to be focusing on the playthrough of the game and the narrative, I want the game to be louder relative to me. That'll give me incentive to shut up over voice acting too. So probably looking at my levels, the next time I play, I'm going to come I'm at negative 15.6 of gain on the desktop audio. I might try with about negative 12 next time. Kick the volume up a fair ways. Alright, we gotta leave, which is a bummer, but hey, no-ish. Don't throw your lives away. Well, Drifting Swordsman. Alright, I'm gonna set that title as my last action of gameplay. If it's better. Well, we lose the gains in strength and accuracy, but we gain HP and defense. I think one of those is one that already combo newbie awards. No, I lied. HP and defense, just the way that I fight, I kind of need them to cover my weaknesses, so I'm going to go for Drifting Swordsman. Alright, so to recap, Lloyd's object of his deepest desires and best friend, Colette, has lied to him and run off. He's been treated like a child by a traveling mercenary who's run off with the Chosen. He's been banished from a village that has just been set fire by him trying to do the right thing, and his father is angry at him. This could not be a more difficult start for our hero. Next week, we'll be back with the next segment of Tales of Symphonia. Gonna save and find a host target. Thank you for being part of the journey. Well, that was awkward. I forgot to set my transition text. I would love for the audio to smoothly segue out, but the problem is when I leave Tails as the active window, it freezes anyway. So, thank you for watching. Let's get a little post-stream tunage going, and may you find peace on your journey. Oh, I just closed it. I broke it.